Hello. How are you doing this wonderful afternoon? Yeah, we're in the afternoon in Lagos, right?
Zolufo.
Dolupo.
Yes, I'm saying Zolufo.
My name is not Dolufo.
You see, this is the problem.
Dolupo,
now.
not
You see,
Dolufo. My name is not
Until
Dolufo.
when everybody inside the Nigeria begin
I
to
keep
respect,
telling you, my name is not Dolufo.
you have to respect my handshake. You understand? That is when
but you
and
also
me
have to
can,
respect my name.
Yes, I respect
No, you
your
don't.
name.
No, you don't. It's
You
not
see,
Dolufo.
You cannot come and twist my handshake to become like your own.
No, I don't need to twist
Yes,
your
so I say
handshake.
Zolufo
No.
is my original
I don't
handshake.
need to twist your handshake.
And I just want to tell you that you have offended of me.
Offended you.
Yes.
You're already offending me,
You
but
are the one who does the first offendation. Because I was already enjoying this national anthem of the Boomba. I was shaking my head and I was going in the spirit until you now bring it down.
call your spirit back.
The thing was going over and higher.
Call your spirit back.
Okay,
Yeah,
I will see. I will still see how I can manage this low volume of the
Call your
national
spirit back.
anthem
Call
of
your
the
spirit
Boomba.
back. Literally, call your spirit back.
Spirit, come back. Spirit, come back.
And
Yawwa.
welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, right here on your boom bar.
Anywhere where you there, everybody inside around the world, we are saying welcome to the boom bar. Dolupo, sorry for the.
Thank you very much.
Yawwa. And we are saying welcome back because we are back like we never left. We are very sorry that
we're very sorry.
We have not been
A lot of things that been
we are
back
trying to,
and forth, and
that is
of course
our
this is
own
where
restructuring.
I don't know anything about restructuring.
It's our own
I don't know any
restructuring, man. You see,
restructuring.
presently as we speak, plenty things going on in the Nigerian country, and a lot of people are saying, "Let's do restructuring."
Yeah, what's your own? We are not restructuring at Boom Radio. We're good.
We are certainly restructuring.
No,
see,
we're good.
We are streaming. We are streaming.
We're good.
We are streaming. Are we
Sorry.
not streaming live? We are having headlines scrolling and everything. Is restructuring.
What's it called? Our bartender that is not here. Please, can we have water? Excuse us.
No, it's about you say
Thank you very much. It
so
will be very highly appreciated. Thank you very much.
Is it water with ice block or hot water?
Just water. Thank you very much. So there's news coming out from a lot of places. There's news coming from Delta State. There's news coming from Kaduna State. We know Kaduna State has been in the news for a while now. There's also news coming from different parts of the country. There's news coming from Kano. There's just about there's just about Chad that has been going on for a few days now. There's just about Libya, a few other things, a few African countries. About Mali, yeah. Yes. There's a lot of things going around in Nigeria and Africa and generally in the world. And I think I'm going to start with Delta State, where a few days ago there was news, I think it was about last week, that the federal government had confirmed that they had gotten the money from the James Ibori loot. And also yesterday, they also announced that, I think that was like Monday, that the money was going to be given to Delta State government. And as at yesterday, they had also said that the money has been remitted to the Delta State government. And now the governor of Delta State today has come out to say that they have not gotten the money.
Maybe there is a spiritual transmission that has not allowed the teleportation of the money to land inside the account of the. Of course,
they're claiming that this money has not reflected in their account. But I have a question though.
Okay.
I remember when this money was signed onto the Nigerian government by the UK government. I remember that story about how they had said that the reasons for giving them this monies, it was going to be used for some federal government infrastructural projects like the second Niger bridge the Lagos Ibadan Bridge. I think there was also another
That's a
road
kind
in the
of-
north. Yeah, that
Yes.
those kind of things. That money was going to be used for it. So, what changed their mind?
Well, I will tell you that you see, in the first place, is that we have a very responsible Mr. Buhari, who is the helm of Abia. You understand? I want to tell you that my brother is a forward-thinking person. Yes, the first thing is requirement is that let us get this money out of the. You need water.
Yes, please, I do need water.
Don't worry, we'll go and fetch the water from the well and bring it. So now, and I think he is a as a forward-thinking leader, he probably would have thought, just you remember when it was being debated here, I was among the Nigerians who says or who thinks that the money should go to the corpus of
The Delta State government. Yeah.
And I think having been a president who, maybe he's been listening to so many opinions of people here and there, and he look at the merit and the demerit, and having thought that, okay, most of this infrastructural projects that we talk about, we already got loan for them, we already have budgetary allocation for them, and it should only be proper for us to look at, okay, maybe in conjunction with our own guidelines, we will remit the money into the corpus of the state government where it was stolen from by their former governor James Ibori. You understand? And we will teleguide them to utilize this money accordingly, so that the people of the state will feel the impact of the money that was stolen from them by their former governor James Ibori. You understand? If that is the case at hand, I seriously love the fact that the federal government has thought in this direction, and they have decided to give back the money to the people of Delta State.
Okay, but you still don't get my issue with it. My issue with it is that, at least I understand that there was a memorandum of understanding.
Yes.
That was actually signed in that respect. Like, the money had to be used for some certain things, and it had nothing to do with returning it. Isn't that them breaching an agreement?
You see, that is why for me,
that's what I see it as.
You see, for me, as my profession, you understand, I always believe in citing documentations. You understand? During those periods, it was only, we pick it from here and there. There wasn't really a document.
Oh, yeah, there was.
That make it rigid.
But there was.
That make it rigid.
They actually signed it. There was even an event around it. There was an event around it. I'm sure that by the time I find I'll look for it. I'm sure that it will be somewhere. Yes.
Well, I also want to think that let's look at it from this angle. You understand? A lot of this during the time of free colonial, when slaves were being taken from here, they take the slaves. But yes, we are buying this slave from you to go and use them. But when we take them there, we will decide what we want to use them for. You understand? There are a lot of black African histories that we have heard about how these European people who bought slaves from Africa and taken it to Europe and America, and they use them for diverse things that they never told these people. You understand? Now, the same way the diluted fund was taken, yes, these are the conditions you want to give us to return this money. You understand? Yes. But we, inside Nigeria, we know what we want to use the money for. It is the government of President Muhammadu Buhari. He knows that, okay, yes, let us get this thing out first. You understand? If we get this thing out, yes, we will tell them, okay, they say that we should use it for this and that. Meaning that even the UK government does not have a full insight of the projects and projection of the Nigerian government. If they have, they will know that yes, several billions have been earmarked, have been budgeted for all of these roads and projects that they spoke about. You understand? So it will be double spending, it will be double budget for those projects. If the government of President Muhammadu Buhari now goes ahead to say, okay, we are using this money for this project, after budgeting and borrowing to make sure that this infrastructure comes
is in
to
place.
Existence.
Yeah.
So I think it's a proactive thinking on the part of Mr. President.
Okay, And let's move on quickly from that. We know that now, at least Delta State said that they have not received the money. We hope that we know how banks behave, yeah.
Exactly. Now,
so let's hope that.
Let us spend like a few minutes talk about the banking sector. You see, it's a high time that in Nigeria we should have the central bank should have a decentralized system whereby the citizens can lay complaint of several misdemeanors of the banks. You understand? Because several times there are issues that the citizens want to complain about. You go into the banks themselves, we are not satisfactorily attended to. You understand? At the end of the day, I can cite several examples that has happened to me, that has happened to people around me. You understand? We can mention the name of banks, sharp practices that has been taking money from the citizens. You understand? And nobody to complain to. And I think it is the duty of central bank to ensure that they have a decentralized customer care departments where citizens can lay their complaints.
Yeah, I know that.
In the digital age,
I know that those things. I think that you can do that on social media. I don't know how effective it is.
Let me tell you
something. But I know that something like that
Let me tell you something. I have a friend. He sent money. And the person who was supposed to receive the money say he has not received the money, and the money remained hanging for almost 2-3 weeks. You understand? And he sent a message to their customer service. He called the number that was given to him for weeks. This thing did not, it was not resolved. And you know what he resorted to? He went into the social media space. He went to Twitter and he started, robbing them in the black lights. And when they saw it, they now decided to say, they started begging him and asking him to pull down those messages.
Yeah,
and
I get
that
you.
They would. You understand? So should we or must we resort to that?
Resort to that all the time? It's sad, yeah. But talking about banks, yeah, there's a news where an EFCC zonal director had talked about how it is not compulsory for Nigerians to have bank accounts. Let me finish. It says that he specifically said that it's not compulsory for Nigerians to have bank accounts amid the rising spate of bank frauds and insider crimes in the banking sector. So basically, this is this was said at Bawa Usman, the zonal head of EFCC in Sokoto. He was using the US as an example about how 40% of Americans do not own a bank account and nothing is happening.
So you see, that means all this cry about reaching the on bank and so many things, you understand? But now if you don't have a bank account, how do you now save? Because saving in Nigeria is a difficult task. But again, with technology, you understand, with technology there are a lot of apps and applications where you can actually put your money, and at the end of the day, you understand, you will be able to come back and meet your money. And some of these fintechs that I speak of, you understand, they go as far as, okay, if you save your money for a certain period of time, you'll be able to participate in some of their bonanzas, yes, and some would even begin to give you interest on the money you have saved. You understand? So I think as the trend is going now, if Nigerian banks do not up their games, they will be losing out.
Yeah, now he's even saying that most of bank frauds that are around now, that are even perpetrated by bankers.
That
they actually a lot about bankers. We know that I don't know if you saw the news about a 21-year-old that was celebrated all over. I think this was as early as last year. This person even donated towards the NSAS movement, and before you know what was happening, this person it came out this week. I think it was this week.
Yes,
that this person was actually defrauded people.
Yes, I saw the monkey shot of him where he was holding the placard and the name and his crime and everything was put there. Yes. So that means that you see, a lot of people, it is because of the fear and the unattractiveness of banks that a lot of people will fall, because he is saying that he will give them 60%.
No, I think that sorry, we should talk about that thing. How in the world, if it is not greed that is wrong with you as a person,
that is doing you?
The same thing with the likes of MMM and all those things. The reason why for someone like me I didn't do it was because their numbers were not realistic. And I think that we most Nigerians have a streak of fraud in us, because if you are not a thief or you are not fraudulent, someone says that in a year you're going to have a return on investment of 60. Are you selling gold?
You see,
I don't get it. Why? Even oil and gas, I don't even think the profit is that much.
Dolupo, let me tell you something. Drink more water. Yeah, sorry. Cool your temper. You see, if you look at it, the advent of what is it called, blockchain and the cryptocurrencies has made it possible for certain things to happen overnight. You understand? I guess that was what this young man, based his opportunistic scheme of fund, and he was selling it to several people, thinking that it will the golden streak will continue like that. And at the end of the day, see what has happened. A lot of people has put a head inside of it, and now they have become victims. You understand? And now it has been found that, you remember there was one before that was called the Pink Nation. You remember, it was also a scheme based on cryptocurrency that was going to give every Nigerian certain amount of millions. You understand?
Really?
Yes. At the end of the day, what happened to it when the crypto industry began to go up and down, and it was no longer feasible, those that he was speculating.
It was asking.
You understand? So what this 21-year-old boy too has done is similar to what that man has done, but this time around he was doing it to people who are gullible, people who are ready to put their money.
Yeah, I don't think the word is gullible. I think the word is greedy.
Yes,
and it also calls out to the fact that where, as much as you claim that you're not a fraudulent person, but you are quick to put your money in things that all those get rich fast schemes.
You see, let me tell you what he has done. There is, you see, in this industry, there is what you call OPM. That is the order, using the other people's money to invest.
Yes, there is. So that's not a crime.
What he has done simply is put up a scheme whereby it will be attractive for people to put their money.
That's
in
even
the
the more reason why you should run.
So now he has put, and you said another major problem with our people is, just like you said, is greed. You understand? Some of the things he said might actually be possible, but you have to be very, very financially strict. You understand? Whereby greediness is not in you, because at the end of the day, you see several people, once they begin to make those little money, they will begin to live above standard, above their means. You understand? And at the end of the day, you will be carried away that, yes, because this money is so much in your account, you now want to live larger than you are supposed to live.
Itself,
so at the end of the day, you dip your hand inside other people's money and start spending because you want to keep the standard of what you have called yourself. You understand? So at the end of the day, you end up losing the people's money. People's had any money that they have invested in.
But that's not even what happened
scheme.
here. This person just decided to was just really a thief, just took people's money. I don't think that there was even a plan to invest that money in the first place.
Well,
I think it just seemed like a Ponzi scheme from day one.
The document that he sold to them, the plans that he sold to them was that he was going to invest the money.
Oh, of course, that's what I'm saying. That yes,
so that
of course, for people that wants to defraud people, of course, he will give people the plan that make it look legit. My question is that before you put your money into something that they claim is legit, shouldn't you check it out first?
Thank you.
Don't you think that there are some things that are inhumanly possible?
You see, talking about inhumanly possible, that you are talking about. You see, now if somebody come and say, okay, the people of Boom Radio, I want to put money on top of you to start a celestial radio station. You understand? Of course, we have the experience. If you count the number of years that we have been in the radio industry, it is not 1 year, it is not 2 years, it is not 3 or 5 years. Now, this is a 21 years old boy. What has been his antecedents? What are the things that he has achieved?
Why give a 21-year-old boy your money?
You understand? So those are some of the things that you will question and query before you now put your head inside this thing. You understand? So for those people who have put their hand and their money into this thing, it is very unfortunate. I am very sorry for you.
No, I think that I don't think it's anybody's fault. You decided to do whatever it is that.
But I think we will have to feel for them because they too they want to see that. Okay,
I ain't feeling for nobody.
I don't want to put it in the conventional bank. If I put it in fixed stock, therefore, you remember sometimes ago somebody was telling us that see this money that he has invested here, he could take it to treasury bills.
Take it to treasury bills now.
So, and it was no longer fashionable, and they felt that okay, this one is better and faster, and it's giving high yields. So let me put my money there. Life is a risk.
Okay, life is a risk.
Probably they decide to take the risk.
Okay.
Yes, son.
And before you know it, the risk is in your pocket. Anyway, moving away from that, and now to Kaduna State. Yes, the Kaduna governor has been in the news for like over a week or some. First, he was the.
That is my governor for your information.
Yeah, it was first it was a lot of kidnapping of schools, which you notice that after a few days now, really not heard anything about it.
It is about the workers.
Yeah. Then it just moved to the workers, yeah? And then there was a lot of noise about that. A lot of noise about it. And then, yeah. And then we moved on from that. And an NLC office in Kaduna wanted to get burnt. And apparently it didn't, thankfully.
But even they tried us, the Omolanke Association of Nigeria.
Oh, God.
They tried us, but we told them that we want to be neutral. You understand? It was our neutrality, or else the whole of Kaduna would have become a dump site.
Thank you, Aboki, we get it.
You understand?
You very much. Thank you. You and this year, Homolaki.
We are very neutral people.
I get it. We get it. Don't trust me. We understand what you mean.
Wow.
But again, now the Kaduna State governor has approved the disengagement of 19 political appointees, including his political advisor in the first phase of public servants who will depart from public service in continuation of his right sizing of the workforce.
Yeah, well, you see, for me, the disengagement of these people let us be very sincere and honest with ourselves. Would it stop their payment of salary? Could it be a coloration just to show to the outside world that yes, you see,
no,
even me, see me, I am right-sizing my political appointment. See, let me tell you, anything is possible in Nigeria. Yes, anything is possible. We know our politicians. Our politicians, for me, I have come to a conclusion that I can never trust any politician in Nigeria. Else, if they were to be trusted by now, Nigeria, at how many years of independence, we are still where we are, despite the fact that we have numerous natural resources that we can utilize. Just today, I was on a Twitter handle where we were discussing how, which is a conversation that was started by the United Nations. They were talking about how, with a lot of mineral resources, a lot of people who are in poverty today, a lot of people who are underdeveloped today should not be there, based on the resources, mineral resources that they have in their domains. You understand? And now Nigeria, up to date, despite all the resources that we have, we are still clamoring, borrowing money here and there. For everybody, every year we go out to borrow money. Yes, son. It is a big shame.
I'm looking at the list now, yeah, and there's some people, some positions are a little like interesting to me.
So you see what I'm saying?
And no, that's why I said that maybe, just maybe, they actually needed to go. So there's a special advisor on political matters, and then there are now special assistants to the special advisor.
So
on political matters.
Double promotion.
Then there is a special advisor on social development and the special assistant to the special advisor. Two special assistants to the special advisor. And the senior special assistant on stakeholders relation, including the senior special assistant on youth.
You see.
There's a special assistant on creative arts, Director General of Public Procurement Authority, the special assistant on community relations, and a senior special assistant. Senior special assistant on programs, senior special assistant to the secretary to the Kaduna state government.
Duplications.
I honestly think that, yes, does if they're really, like you said, what you pointed out, if truly they're actually they're removing these people off their payroll, for me, looking at a lot of these things, were they even needed in the first place? It seemed like you've been putting a lot of stress even on your own wage bill.
So, you remember I said it the other time, I said that most of these people who got employed in government agencies, ministries and parastatals, a lot of them got there as a result of settlement. You understand? This political person wants to settle his people. They will say, okay, I'll give you 10 slots. This one 10 slots, that one 20 slots. Before you know it, all of these people that were not needed, that do not have anything doing in government ministries, agencies and parastatals will find their way there simply because they got there by settlement, so that they will go there and see, stop disturbing me, I have given you a job, go and be earning salaries. And it is not that they have anything to give. You understand? You remember that saying that think of what you can give to government, not what government would do for you. You understand? Until we get to that area, you see, a lot of people, as soon as they graduate from school, they want to get government job. They want to get government job. Why don't you want to join the people who are using their creativities, the knowledge they have acquired in the institution, to start a craft, to start a trade, to start a business, you understand, and grow it and scale it up, you understand, to the extent that you will not become employer of labor. You understand? We have polytechnic graduate, we have university graduate, you have college of education graduate. We have so many graduates in our society, yet we are saying that we don't have enough people in employment. It is because a lot of people wait for cheap money which comes from government employment. A lot of them don't really have to be there. Yes, sir. Let us be very sincere with ourselves. A lot of people don't need to get government jobs.
They need, I think that the reason mainly for pushing a lot of people to so-called government jobs is still it's still because of our unemployment rate.
Let me tell you something.
That's what I feel. I feel that if there's a large chunk of people that have jobs, it will not be so much of it won't be so juicy to the fact that there's a government job somewhere. That's what I'm saying.
Now talking about juicilization of the jobs, you understand? Do you know? I don't know if you know, and I'm sure some people out there know that there are some people who are in employment of government, state government. They are earning money as a state government civil servant, but as soon as they hear the federal government is employing, they will also jump there, displacing those people who genuinely do not have the job and they have what they can contribute to the government job. You understand? So a lot of these discrepancies has to be checked, or else we'll continue to have people rushing for government jobs. You understand? And when they get into government job, they don't have anything to do rather than, carry files and wait for promotions that you have not contributed anything into. You understand? You see, we have transport ministry. How many of the people in the transportation ministries, right from states to the federal level, that have come out with ingenuity of their creativity to say, okay, this is how we can solve our transportation problem. You understand? How many of the people who have been in the science and technology industry or ministries. We have a Ministry of Science and Technology in Nigeria today, yet we are importing technology from other parts of the world. You understand? We have Ministry of Communication. How many of them can write codes? You understand? All of these things are major things that we should begin to ask questions about. You understand? But yet you find people there. You go to the Ministry of Mines and ask them certain things. A lot of them do not know geography. A lot of them do not know the mineral resources that we have in Nigeria. Not to talk of where they are locations. So those are some of the things that we should begin to check. I remember when Kaduna State Governor started this thing. Remember some years back, like almost 4, 5, 6 years ago now, when he was saying that, see, the churches that are in Kaduna State, they are too much. Now I want to right size or downsize them. What I'm going to do simply is I'll put up a test. Let me test their intellectual capability. You understand? A lot of them failed. They failed.
Yeah.
So that means if we have a failing teacher, what's
the plan for the students?
Yes,
exactly.
So those are some of the things where we should begin to ask ourselves.
That's it. And now, as of today, now let's move a bit and let's come closer to home in Lagos State. As of today, the Senate Committee Zonal Public Hearing on the review of the 1999 Constitution has started today. The one for the Southwest. Basically, I started today, and it's happening at the somewhere in Ikeja, Lagos State today. And now the Lagos State Governor had actually spoken today, and he had demanded for special economic status for Lagos State, saying that the progress and prosperity of Nigeria is actually linked to the progress and prosperity of Lagos State. Then basically the second thing he was talking about was state police and the entrenchment of true fiscal federalism in Nigeria.
Well, for me, you see, all of those things that the governor has asked is not perfect. Because if you look at it, if we begin to implement some of these recommendations that he has asked that should be infused into the new constitution that is being, the constitution that is being reviewed, you know, the issue of state police, I am a part of the champions of state police. You understand? I have been saying, let us have state police whereby we have a state police that we know that we are not bringing somebody from Sokoto to come and police Lagos State. What does it know? What does he know about Surulere?
Yeah.
What does he know about Obalende? What does he know about Mushin? You understand? Who and who does he know around those neighborhoods? You understand?
Yeah.
But if you have a community policing or state policing, at the end of the day, when you have a state policing, then it will translate to community policing. So community policing will be people in your community. They know who are the criminals and criminalities in their neighborhood, so they know how to grab them. You understand? So then talking about making Lagos State a special state, giving it a Lagos State, what is that thing again? Economic status. Yes. I think if you take a look at it, if you remove Lagos from the economy of Nigeria, wallahi, everybody all around the 35 states.
Okay, the remaining 35 states.
You understand? Including federal capital, we still go back to 36. You understand? Everybody want to come to Lagos.
Yeah.
You understand? Because Lagos has this special mind around it that when you come into Lagos, you tend to you will become prosperous. You understand? And so many people, you will call them in Lagos I'm in Lagos. You understand? And when you go back home, you will be so different from the people at home, because Lagos State give opportunity to everybody. Even if it is ordinary sachet water that you are selling, you'll become prosperous in Lagos. You understand? Even if you now scale up and do some other things and begin to package special packages of your sachet water, you will still make money. You understand? So Lagos is a place of opportunity. Even foreign people come into Nigeria, they want to stay in Lagos, because if you check it, look at our backdrop. These are multinational companies that are putting on structures that are taking accommodation in all of these buildings. You understand? That is where they have their corporate head office. You understand? if they go to Abuja, they only go to Abuja for certain special reason, because they are close to the Ministry of Finance, they are close to the Ministry of Interior, where they get documentation for their expatriate quotas and everything. You understand? So I think Lagos State should be given that special status. I support of it. So
okay, still talking about the constitutional review. Now, the governor of Ondo State, we know he's actually also really in the news a lot these days.
It's my brother from another mother.
He's a lot in the news, and he's saying that the constitution should address that regional agitations that everybody has, from the southeast to the south to the southwest to the northeast, that let everybody go back to the constitution and let the constitution address whatever it is that you want.
Well, for me, I think I will still fall back to some of the agitations surrounding the constitutions that we are operating on presently. That is the 1999 constitution. A lot of constitutional lawyers, a lot of people who are in the know, even the people of the ruling party have come to say that, that constitution has not been finalized. So it is a rogue document that we are operating on presently.
What does that even mean? What does it mean that it has not been finalized?
Yes,
I hear it a lot, and I'm wondering.
You see, because a lot of things has not been finalized. It was just a document that has not been approved, that has not gone through those processes. That
it has not been approved by who?
Now, see what is going on now. Before the making of that constitution, the 1999 constitution, you remember it that we were in the military regime of Sani Abacha.
Yeah.
You understand? So it was him and the people that he has put in place that came up to fashion that constitution. We have not had the input of the National Assembly. We have not had the input of the people, because democracy was not in place then. You understand? So we must make sure that we democratize the constitution. So until that is done, I will be among the people who says that constitution is null and void. Sorry, drink small water. Small water will do for you. You understand? So that constitution as it is should be revisited.
I think that yeah, for a lot of things, yes, there are a lot of things in that constitution that is not. But one thing that I keep saying that I have come to realize is that for us to say that the whole constitution is null and void, then there's going to be a total breakdown from presidency to our House of Assemblies, because everything that happens in Nigeria is completely according to that constitution. So can we scrap the constitution? I don't think it is possible, except there will not be a Nigeria again, because as of today, Nigeria is built up on that constitution, and there's going to be a lot of chaos, way much more. We can say that there's chaos now, but there's going to be way much more chaos if we scatter everything. I read a few about it, and it's talked about how the only thing that can really be done to a constitution right now, even if we say that they're scrapping it, it can really only be amended.
Dolupo.
I'm just saying. We know that yesterday, Professor Isesage I talked about it in an interview yesterday, where he said that Nigeria should revert back to the 1963 constitution and all that. Yes, those things are easy to say. My question is that how is the implementation of those things? Are those things would I say humanly? Are those things, how possible are those things? How is it that, okay, you are going to wake up tomorrow and say that, because it's according to Nigerian constitution that we have the Nigerian Senate, and we have the House of Representatives, and we have the State House of Assemblies. So are you going to just wake up one day and scrap those things? So what's going to happen between the time that you scrap one and you have another one? It's the same constitution that puts the president there. It's the same constitution that puts the governors there. It's the same constitution that puts the local government chairman there. So I don't see how feasible it is. I think that we're not being realistic.
Dolupo, let me tell you something. It is very, very feasible that we scrap an entire constitution. if we scrap it, it is not the first place in the whole world that such has been done.
Really?
Yes,
Never heard about it very
Go
well.
and check. There's a Google. You can Google it. You understand? Now, you see, as we speak, I will say that my opinion is that currently what we are experiencing in Nigeria is a make-do constitution. A make-do, it's not the real constitution. And I will give it to a lot of eggheads, a lot of people who are sensible in the Nigerian legislature. You understand? And of course, some of the people in government. You understand? The way they have been managing it. Because in reality, that constitution was built around Major General Sani Abacha.
Yeah.
Because then, if not for what happened to him, you understand, he wants to perpetuate himself in government and transmute to a civilian life president if possible. You understand? So that was the constitution. So now, what we have been operating since after 1999 to this period is a skillful manipulation of that constitution just to suit the situation of the day. But how long do we want to continue to manipulate?
And that's why I'm saying that.
See,
there's a story. That's why we're talking about amendments.
Now, amendment is just to amend. But now, we want to have the total input of everybody. But
yeah, which
the total input of everybody, you understand, will now give.
But
us
you
a
also know that
view.
total input of everybody as how?
Now,
it's probably not humanly possible.
No, don't say that. See, the people who did you study government in school? You see, when you talk about making a constitution, you have to go to the grassroots. The grassroots people must have input. You must go back to your constituency. You must get input from leaders of your community.
And you think that in 2021 that's possible?
Very possible.
Okay.
If people can, as we speak, continue to demand for referendum.
Okay.
And referendum is all about
for example, now
this is our opinion.
For example,
there is
we know that there is
it is only if the political class do not want it to happen. They just want to be the godfathers. That is when they will say it is not possible.
Okay, so as of today now, we know that the Constitution Review Committee started their zonal public hearing in Lagos today.
Yes.
I don't know, I've not seen pictures, but how many people are in that place today?
And that is why can I talk?
How many people are actually, at least that should be where we'll start from.
Now let me tell you.
Oh, please go ahead.
I would always say that you see the political class, the people who are occupying political positions today, or who are interested in political positions today, they have not been fair enough to the people they represent. Yeah. You understand? Now, talking about this constitutional amendment program that is going on, go to Kara, go to Isheri here, ask how many people has the sensitization that such a thing is happening there. They will only put it among themselves. So it is only the people who they have tutorialized to go there, to go and speak, will go there. And somebody is making a decision or is putting an opinion on my behalf. It's like you are barbering somebody's head behind him. You understand? Every sector of the society must be aware. Have they created that awareness? You understand? These are some of the things we should ask. That is when we say that this thing is all encompassing. You understand? But as we have it, it is not all encompassing. If you go there now, you will discover that you have police people there guarding the place. They will tell you, do you have an invitation to come? If you don't have, they told you back. That is for, like, say, me having my profession now. I should be there. But if I go there, they will say I do not have an invitation. I cannot enter. I say, well, I am not a bona fide Nigerian. I have the Nigerian national identity card. NIN. You understand? So, these are some of the things that we should address.
Okay. Our time is fast spent, but let's move on quickly to Katsina State, yeah? Where the Katsina State Police Command has arrested a 25-year-old Musa Samsudin for aiding and providing medical services to bandits in Katsina State. Gambo Issa, the command spokesman, disclosed this to journalists today while parading some hoodlums arrested for various offenses across the country. They said that a fake medical personnel, aged 25, an indigene of Kogi State, but residing in Kankara, was suspected of always going into the forest to treat sick and wounded bandits. In his possession, quantities of drugs were recovered, and there were also a few other things. It said that he was alleged to have disappeared from Kankara on the day in which the Kankara schoolboys, remember those boys then,
Yes.
were abducted by bandits, and then it was later resurfaced.
You see, talking about these incidences of fake medical practitioner, I was once a victim. I had to go for the procedure, and it was a fake doctor in Aboki who worked on me. It was later when they were trying to do the clarification of recertification that he was detected to not to be a medical doctor, and he cut me open and he stitched me back.
Are you kidding me?
Do you understand? So also I saw a report on Twitter saying that Sokoto State and some other states that we have mentioned are havens for fake medical practitioners who are providing services to pure and indigent people. You understand? And some of them will go and assist the people, the bandits, the kidnappers, and of course the terrorists in the forest, providing medical and taking medications to them. You understand? And I think it is high time government, the Minister of Health, should stand up.
Is it even about being a fake doctor or not? I think that it's even worse, the fact that you're treating people that are killing people.
Now, you see, talking about treating people who it is all about the Benjamins, the money. He knows that, okay, they will call him, see, can you help us get drug? Now, it costs for, now you're talking about, I think there was sometimes ago there was this campaign about pharmacovigilance. You understand? But as we speak, that campaign has died down.
And
you understand? Now, if you see somebody coming who is not a medical practitioner coming to buy drugs open, and you check the quantity of drug, you should report.
You should report.
And say that this person has been coming to buy this drug.
Because it's not all about because you want to sell things. Yeah,
and
I get what you're saying.
This person is not even an owner.
It's
owner
not
of
a pharmacy or nothing.
A medical establishment. You understand? So some of these things. So it's because a lot of our health practitioners and people are not vigilant enough.
They're not vigilant enough. And moving from that, and let's go to Yobe State, where the troops of Operation Hadinkai
that is putting heads together,
with local vigilantes on Tuesday had raided a suspected Boko Haram logistics stockpile in Yobe State. The Director of Army Public Relations had disclosed this today, that the items recovered included 62 jerry cans loaded with premium motor spirit, that's what we call petrol, hidden in different houses and shops. They also got 3 vehicles belonging to terrorist suppliers.
You see, for me, I think it is part of vigilance that we are talking about. Yes, sir. I am very sure if everybody...
Aboki, you said something, part of what?
Vigilance.
No, it's vigilance.
No, because if you practice it, it becomes vigilance. You understand? So the vigilance of the people will aid in intelligence gathering. You understand? Now I take an example of the man who is going to buy drug for kidnappers and bandits. If they have been vigilant enough, they will report that, see, this person does not have a medical establishment or a pharmaceutical shop, but yet is coming to buy drugs. You understand? In this quantity, he should be investigated, especially around those security high tension area. You understand? So the same way for this one too. You understand? Now I am very sure the people would have discovered that this person is bringing fuel intelligence every time into this compound.
What are they using it for?
What are they using it for? And before you know it, in the dead of the night they move, or at certain period of the day they move. So those are little element of vigilance.
That one needs to be. They even tell you that even people, even around you, that it's high time we need to be very, very vigilant of everything that is happening. Once you find anything that is a little suspicious, then you take it. And now lastly, before we step out, there's a little of news from the presidency. Actually, today we know that Libyan president came to see President Muhammad Buhari. We don't know details of that meeting. We probably will get it later. But now, Mali's transitional president and prime minister resigned. We know that was it yesterday or 2 days ago? They were actually arrested.
On Monday.
They were arrested by the vice president. Yeah, it was they were arrested by the army, but then later on we found out that the vice president said that
the vice president was in the camp of the military dissident that decided to take power.
Yes, that he decided to take power. They know that they were actually, there was a coup last year, August, but then there were talks of ECOWAS sanctioning them, and that was what brought up the idea of a transitional president and the prime minister till next year, where they actually hold elections. But we just came like a day or two ago, and then game over, these people were arrested. And now it has now been said that they have now resigned.
Yes, it was gathered from the mouth of the spokesperson of the military junta that arrested the president and the prime minister, that is Baba Kassé. He said that these people have resigned and they have handed over to the vice. You understand? So that means the vice president is in the know of everything that is happening. And he helped the military people to come and take over power. And I think it is high time we Africans stop doing ourselves. You understand? This time around, all over the world, democracy is the fashionable system of government and not the military take over.
Yeah.
If you have issues, let there be a constitutional...
About something like that. Remember, something like that's happening right here by us at Chad as well.
You understand? So, a lot of things, we Africans, we must begin to think right and do the right thing, so that Africa will be great again.
Okay, so actually, before we go, I think I can squeeze in one more story. Yeah, and the Kano State ISBA board has said that it has confiscated 8,400 bottles of beer in the state, claiming that alcohol is illegal in Kano State.
You see, that is what I'm saying here. That you see, we need to sit down and do our constitution to be what it should be. By the constitution that established us as a Federal Republic of Nigeria, or as Nigeria, it is enshrined there that Nigeria is a secular nation.
Exactly.
You understand? So some people might be of the Islamic faith.
Yeah, I think that we should. The idea of this Sharia thing, and so I think we need to break it down.
State, in Kano State, I must tell everybody who is listening here that in Kano State we have indigenous of Kano State who are Christians.
Yes, I think that
who
it's
are
time.
Pagans.
It's time we need
and
to really break down this
their
thing.
own
Yeah.
religious belief does not.
Let's be honest. Are we really a secular country?
Why
at
would
the end
you
of the
now
day?
say that you want to use Sharia to govern?
You know, I've been saying it that I need to.
Even
I need a lawyer to actually explain it, because I don't know why. It seems like we're running two different constitutions.
And I think the whole thing started right from the time of Olusegun Obasanjo, when he allowed
it
Sharia to be practiced in I think Borno State.
Yeah.
And now every other state started
copying it. Exactly.
It must not be so. We must stop it so that every Nigerian will feel safe
around themselves. Exactly. Whatever it is that you want to do it, but don't impose